Hi guys, welcome to another video. I've just come back from Paris, the fashion shopping capital of the world. I was there for a whole week and oh my goodness, I have got so much to tell you, so much to share. Went to all the luxury stores, met all my gorgeous Handbag Tribe. What did we get up to? Let's get going. Where better to go when you want to go luxury shopping than Paris? You've got Hermes, you've got Louis Vuitton, you've got Fendi, you've got Dior, you've got Chanel, you've got the lot. Every single brand that you can think of. Honestly, we had a ball. We really did. And if you're wondering who I'm talking about, is we had a ball, the Handbag Tribe. I will link everybody below. You already know who they all are. We met up in Paris and we did so many amazing things. I am going to have to split my videos into about 3 or 4 different videos because we did so much and there's so much I want to share with you. So I don't want to rush through it, and yeah, I want to show you all the details. I want to share everything that we did. So this one is going to be our first couple of days there. I'm going to do it I'm just going to split it into what we got up to on each different day. And this will probably be day 1 and 2 because we did a lot, even in day 1 and 2. So, oh goodness me, where do I even start? Before I rush headlong into showing you all the things we got up to, the things that we saw, all the gorgeous luxury stores, all the things that we did together as friends, I just want to mention this. And I'm only going to mention this once, but I am going to mention this. We miss Meredith so much. We all adore Meredith. She's one of my absolute best friends on this planet. And I was so sad that Meredith wasn't there to share the trip with us. I'm not going to harp on about it too much because I will get too emotional, and I know Meredith will get too emotional. And I just want to say this. I am not going to address the nonsense. If you know what I mean by that, then hopefully you do know what I mean. I'm not going to address it because it is not worth even a second of my time. But I just want to say this, that Meredith has gone through so much with her health, and she has missed out on an amazing trip. However, this was never about her missing out on shopping or going on a luxury holiday. This was about all of us getting together as friends, as human beings. And yes, we have a shared love of luxury. Otherwise, we wouldn't all be in this community. But what means the most to all of us is our friendship, our love, and actually just taking care of each other. And Meredith has been through so much. So that is the top and bottom of all of this, is that number one, she is going to be fine and she is recovering. And that is the most important thing of all. And yes, we all missed her, but there will be other trips. We all know that. But we love her. Anyway, I'm not saying any more than that because it doesn't warrant saying any more than that. And it's blinking obvious to most of us in this world. Anyway, let's get on with the vlog. So over the course of all of this footage, you're going to see so much from Hermes. And can I just say, there is a story. There is, honestly, we have so much to tell you guys. And we will come to it, but Hermes, oh my goodness, oh dear. We also have a story about Chanel and Louis Vuitton. There is so much to share, but we're going to kick off, and I'm going to kick off with Goyard because that is the first place that I went to. And honestly, day 1, straight in Goyard. I'm going to let Victoria from Account of Luxury tell her story of what happened in Goyard, but I will just leave you with this little nugget that yeah, we didn't have to queue for Goyard, and all will be revealed. But I got, anyway, I'm so excited. I can't even explain to you guys all the things that we go up to. Anyway, Goyard, beautiful store. I have been to Goyard in Paris before. I've never bought anything from Paris in Goyard. I just haven't, but yeah, there were quite a few things that I looked at. The main thing I wanted to look at was the St. Louis tote, because I had it in my head. I've got my, is it down here somewhere? I've got my Artois bag down here and I love it. Let me just grab it. I love it. It's absolutely amazing. I've got a bag liner in mine. It's got a zipper. It's reinforced corners. It's burgundy. It's amazing. I love it. But I wanted something a bit more slouchy. And I also just had it in my head that a black bag would be great. So I was looking at the St. Louis. So what did I really think? And did I buy anything? Well, you'll have to wait. I know I'm going to tease you on this, but you are going to have to wait to see what I did end up buying in this whole trip, because it was very difficult to narrow it down. And none of us have unlimited funds, contrary to popular belief. So the way I did it was I went and looked at everything, with one exception. Generally, I went to look at things and then I decided what I wanted to buy and went back to buy it, rather than just being too impulsive and then spending all my money before I'd even got to day 2. But there was one exception to that, which I will explain later. So what did I think of the St. Louis? Well, I really like it. The GM is huge, absolutely huge. And is it the MM or is it the PM? I don't know, the smaller one is a fabulous size bag. I would equate it maybe to the Neverfull MM. But what is really disappointing, and I think it is the same with the Neverfull, the strap drop is just a bit too small. I want the St. Louis smaller size bag with the GM size shoulder straps. What is wrong with that? Just so you can get it over your shoulder just a little bit more easily. The small one, I could get it on my shoulder, but if I was wearing anything bulky, so when it comes to autumn winter and you're wearing a coat, you'd struggle. You would struggle. So that was something to weigh up. I love the look of them. So should I go for the GM and it will fit over, but I don't need a bag that big? Or do I go for the size of bag? Anyway, it was a whole dilemma. I also looked at the Bohem bag, which I thought was fabulous. It was smaller than I anticipated. I don't know. I thought it was going to be bigger, but it looked like it would slouch over time. It has a zipper at the top. It just has the one handle, but the strap drop is great. Anyway, we also looked at pouches. I love Goyard. All the colours are amazing. I had it in my head that I was just loving black, but I did love everything in Goyard, and the service we got in Goyard was amazing. Very, very good indeed. So that was a big tick. So did I buy anything? Maybe. Then we went to Fendi. So I was with Claire from Claire Louise Looks, and if you don't know Claire, I'm sure that you do, but if you do not know Claire, she is a Fendi fanatic, absolute fanatic. And I do love Fendi as well, but I haven't fared as well with Fendi as I do with Louis Vuitton. And I think Claire's Fendi is like my Louis Vuitton. Everything that we see, our own, like my barometer for everything is Louis Vuitton. I compare everything back to what I could buy at Louis Vuitton. Claire does this with Fendi. Anyway, off we went to Fendi on Rue Saint Honoré. Fabulous store, very good customer service, slightly over attentive if anything. But I wanted to have a look at the spy bag. Now, I've been very intrigued by this. Is it like 2000s, or is it even the 90s? But that slouchy shoulder bag. And I just thought it looked amazing. What I would say about it, I did try on the smaller one and the bigger one. I like the idea of the bigger one. So again, that over your shoulder, slouchy sort of tote bag. It was thicker leather than I anticipated. And what I mean by that is it didn't feel as that thin leather that's going to slouch. Some might think that that's a good idea, as in that's a good thing, that it's thick and it's heavy and it feels substantial and it feels durable. But I wanted just it to feel supple and soft, and at the end of the day, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I liked the look of it. I would not buy one. I wasn't overly impressed. Anyway, while we're in Fendi, a couple of people were trying different things, as you do, and before we know it, the peekaboos come out. Now, I've sort of talked about peekaboos before. I had a mini peekaboo years ago. I won't go over the story again. I bought the wrong thing. I ended up selling it, but it doesn't mean that it wasn't a beautiful bag, because it is. Since then, I've looked at the peekaboo a few times, and I think I know. I think I now know which peekaboo that I would buy. Anyway, before we get on to that, it was a surprise. It was an absolute shocker that I fell in love with this peekaboo. It was not on my radar to even look in Fendi. I've done wish list videos. I've never mentioned the peekaboo. I fell in love. Anyway, I'll show you some footage of, I think I tried on 3 different peekaboos. And I'd like you to comment below which one of them you think is the one that I fell in love with. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you which one it was. I'm not going to tell you if I bought it or not just yet. You'll have to wait for that. But I did absolutely fall in love with something that was never on my radar. So that was Fendi. We then went to Loewe, had a quick look in there. I managed to get my hands on the Madrid bag. The Madrid bag. Now, what would I say about it? Well, I think it's absolutely beautiful. I like what Loewe are trying to do. What they are trying to do is make a bag that's very classic, really versatile. It has all these different which ways to do the straps. You can make it into 2 like more top handle bags. You can have it over your shoulder. You can add pieces to it. You can take the binder straps off it and make it into a crossbody. So what do I actually think? Well, I tried it on in the small and the medium. I don't know if it's small and medium or medium and large, but the smaller one and the larger one. It's really, really difficult to say how I feel about this bag. I think it is so expensive, really expensive. I think it's over going on towards £5,000, which for me, and I know we've talked about this before, just the different brands and how in one brand that seems acceptable, in another brand it's ridiculous. There was something in me that would never pay that for a Loewe bag, and I can't really explain why, because the quality is insanely good, absolutely insanely good. The Madrid bag itself, no. I think it's trying to be too many things to too many people, and it ends up not being any of those things at its best, if that makes any sense. Yeah, sometimes you try and please too many things and then you lose the actual thing it could be. So it's not a great top handle bag because the handles are slightly too big to do crook of the arm, and then on the shoulder it's a little bit bulky because it's got 2 really big thick like shoulder straps. Then when you take all that off and add bits to it to make it a crossbody, it doesn't sit perfectly as a crossbody, so it doesn't do any of those things well. But it is a beautiful looking bag, and the leather is amazing, the craftsmanship is amazing. I tried it on, one of the sizes was in the burgundy, stunning colour. Would I buy the Madrid? No. I prefer, my favourite Loewe bag would have to be the Featherlight puzzle bag. I think it's fabulous in the small size. I think it's just fabulous. If I were in the market for Loewe, that's what I would go for. I would either go for the burgundy or maybe even the chocolate brown was really lovely, really, really was. We were all then heading back to the hotel, and we were going to have a quick sort of turnaround before we were going out for food. So we should have been going back to the hotel, but myself and Claire, we were staying on Rue Cambon, and literally Chanel Rue Cambon was next door, absolutely next door. But what was a little bit like 2 doors down from Chanel is Feuille Lepage. And I have never ever looked at this brand before at all. I've thought it was, now don't come for me with this, but this was just my impression, that it was like a slightly cheaper, inferior version of Goyard. wow, I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong, because the minute I walked in that store, the customer service in there, the quality of their items, the colours, the canvas, honestly, I was absolutely blown away. And not only that, the prices were so much better than Goyard. So do I prefer it to Goyard? No, not necessarily, but I tried on a couple of bags. I'll put some footage in. I fell in love with this bag. Now this is called, I think it's the Parade bag, and it comes in a smaller one and a bigger one. So the one that I loved the most was the Parade 23. So 23 is a 23 centimetre. So it's a really nice size bag. It's a medium sized bag. It's not a tiny crossbody. It does have a top handle. You could just do it handheld. It'd be amazing, but it's still not too big to wear crossbody. It's light, it's easy, it's practical. It's a rainy day bag. I like the navy blue. I think this one came just in the navy blue, the dark green, which is beautiful green, or black. Now I like navy blue in this. I don't know why. I do know why. I love navy blue, but I also love the green. I also love the black. But for me, just this style, it might have been because of what I was wearing that day that actually, yeah, the blue just suited. But again, I fell in love with it. And the price of this was €1,850. You then get the tax back and conversion to the UK. I think it worked out, was it around about £1,400, £1,300? Anyway, I thought it was a fabulous, fabulous bag. The tote bags were amazing. I like how you can change the setting on the shoulder straps of the tote bag, so you can make them a little bit longer to get them over your shoulder. You can make them shorter. I think that is just, why doesn't other brands do that? They also have some limited editions. Honestly, the sales associates in that store could not do enough for you. Absolutely amazing. So I was blown away, absolutely blown away. So what I will tell you, a little bit of a sneak peek, is that I was supposed to just be looking at all the different things and then weighing it all up and deciding what to buy. But I did buy something. I did buy something on day one. But I don't regret it, because it's amazing. So out of everything that I've shown you so far, why don't you just have a little guess as to what I actually bought? And then I'm going to reveal and this might help or it might not. Who knows? I'm teasing, I know. But in Fendi, which one of those peekaboos did you think actually stole my heart? And it probably isn't the one that you think. It was the black. The small size. It's the ICU, but the small size. So it's a medium-sized bag in the smooth black leather. It was just perfect for me. Some might call it boring, some might call it classic, I don't know. I loved it. Yes, the ostrich was amazing. Yes, the other ostrich one was amazing. But I just fell in love with this, the absolute classic, beautiful peekaboo in black. Anyway, that was day one. So hang fire, guys, because all of these videos are coming hot off the press. I'll see you on the next one.